If they're telling all this stuff over the internet, what the hell is somebody going to turn on a TV for? Or go to a show to watch it? Or watch the pay-per-view?
One thing that when you started in the business that was confidential, that you were told never reveal these kind of things. Now that wrestling's out in the open, what was that like for you?
What it was like when I heard people revealing the inside secrets of the business. I was taught a different way. We were brought up different, with different respect for the business, and that was you never did that. You paid heavy dues to earn the right to be in the business and to know the inside secrets, if whatever you want to call it, or inside scoops of what went on inside the business. And you never talked about with anybody outside the business. I still abide by those rules out of respect for the business. I know a lot of the younger guys and even older guys now that things are out there. They reveal everything. I'm totally against that. I'm not a social media guy. Don't have none. Don't watch none. Don't listen to none. Could care less. It comes across when you're trying to draw money, and there's no people in the seats. They know why. But even without the house shows, when you're trying to do pay-per-views and draw TV ratings for television, same bad time, same bad channel. When I was a kid, when Batman and Robin were getting cooked in that big pie by Simon the Pieman, you ran home from school to find out what was going to happen. You know what I mean? If they're telling all this stuff over the internet, what the hell is somebody going to turn on a TV for? Or go to a show to watch it? Or watch the pay-per-view? They're, like Bobby Heenan said, and this is one of the last things he ever told me, he goes, all the magician's tricks are out. What good's a magician if everybody knows the tricks? Who would have went to see Houdini if they knew how he could escape? You know what I mean? If a magician's tricks are exposed, nobody cares.
No, you can't suspend the belief.
You never, I got it when he said that. You know what I mean? And a lot of the old timers said that when the business is over, they would say, I'm talking like Gorilla Monsoon and George Steele are one of our mentors, and Arnie Skolin and Chief Jay, and they would talk in the locker rooms. They were our agents and different things. You go, kid, when it comes down to pay-per-views and television, the wrestling business is dead. I go, what are you talking? I couldn't fathom this. What are they talking about? Here, what happened? They lived through the oversaturation of the Gorgeous George era and came after that and saw what that did to the wrestling business, oversaturation of television, and lived through that. They knew, they saw this coming. You know what I mean? And now I understand it. It did. It came around. It basically, all wrestling companies are just television production companies that run pay-per-views. But if you got young guys, old guys, whoever, exposing the inner secrets of the business, you're giving away the magician's tricks.
What about back in the day, if somebody was found to have given information out, would they?
Oh, well, no, there's two ways of handling that. You weren't allowed that information until you earned a certain respect in the business. It could take a year or two before you're really, smartened up in that way. And then before they knew, you would do something like that. But in the instance where somebody was doing that or did that happen, that's why the old promoters kept shooters around, because you were either your ass got kicked or you were just fired, or sometimes it was handled inside the locker room, between the boys themselves. They go, what the you doing, you dumbass? It could lead to you getting knocked out. You know what I mean? But Everything changed with time. You know what I mean? It goes with everything, boxing and wrestling and all, sports, with the social media and stuff. They want to know more and more, you know what I mean? Does it make a bigger fan base and make people more interested, or does it hurt it? I don't know. I think it does more harm than good. I'll never say it because that's the way, like I said, we were brought up that way. It's disrespectful, and the respect I was taught for the business, it's disrespectful for me to talk about it in that way, or tell anybody what my business is about. They didn't pay their dues. They didn't earn the right to know that, So that's my view on it. Let other people do what the hell they want.
Matches that I used to see in you two against the Steiners.
Yeah.
How hard were those matches? Because you guys you were just going at it.
We did. We were both taught in that style where they were amateur wrestlers. A lot of guys couldn't work their style, or they didn't want to because it was involved in it. Here we were 300 pounds apiece, but we did everything and could do everything. Once we shot that was Ole Anderson. We shot that first angle. He sent us out to a live interview in Chicago at the Pavilion, WCW in the 80s. He got over. Next thing he said, Ole goes, this was all off the cuff, no riders, no. He goes, now I want you to go out, and you and the Steiners are going to sign a contract to go for the belts come back here. We're coming back here for Halloween Havoc. We went, well, what do you want us to do? Well, just mix it up a little. They maybe shove them, say something. All that was done on our own. We shot that angle. It exploded. People saw that on TV. It was the most anticipated match. And then we had that match, and that's one of our greatest matches we ever did. Never since then, Rick and Scott have been two of our best friends in life, two of our best friends since we got over together like that. And it was a match made in heaven between us two. I don't think either of us as a tag team reached that kind of level. Like us wrestling the Hart Foundation at WrestleMania 7, yeah, that's one of our greatest moments in our career. But what got us to that level and those great matches with Hawk and Animal and all the greatest tag teams was by getting over and pulling that match off with the Steiners, because it was a perfect fit, perfect match. The way we were taught, we could go and do the mat wrestling. We could go and do the street fights. We could wrestle the Giants. We could wrestle the Rockers, or Ricky and the Rock and Roll Express. It all goes back to training, and it all goes back to knowing what to do and being ready. If we weren't ready when Ole gave us that shot in Chicago, when you're handed the ball, it's all timing. If you're not ready, you're dead in the water. It's a shot. We were ready, and we knew what to do when we were handed the ball, and it all went from there.